Why? Why do we not have these conversations, right? I'm going to get right to the point. This is a short life. Like, why? I hope you had a beautiful happy 4th of July. I really hope and trust and pray you did. It was our 16th year anniversary. Corey wrote on my anniversary card. He said, "Happy sweet 16." That was so cute. That was so proper, so beautiful. 16 years of being married to this man that, my card says something like, "Listen, I love everything about you except those things we talked about." And, there's, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's sacred. It's a covenant before the Lord. And it's beautiful. And you still have life. And you still have stuff that happens. And you gotta love through it all. But the conversation that I want to have today is why. Like, why do we not have the conversations, right? My shirt says, real dad. I have a friend that they're the real, whatever their name is. And there's absolutely nothing real about them, okay? Very fake. Do not stand up for the right things. Says claim, but there's nothing real. I think that they just needed that real word in there to actually feel better. Like, yeah, I'm being real. No, be real, you all. Let's be real. But the conversation that I wanted to have was in regards to, like, why not? About parents, right? Why do we not have those conversations? I'm actually on my way to the hospital right now. Our dad, if you're listening to this, let me know. Do you have a parent that's elderly? Because if you don't, this conversation is for you. Okay? It is for you. Start planning now, especially if you have a big family. Like, we have a big family, and I don't know where you're from, but Dominicans have a lot of opinions. Like, we're very opinionated, okay? And it's not just the kids. It's the grandkids, it's the nieces, the nephews, the cousins. Everybody has an opinion about what you should be doing with who? Your parents. So these are conversations that if you have young parents, have them. But my Lord, if you have parents that are in their like I'm going to be 60 this year, right? Have them now. Vanessa, I hope you're listening to this. Joy, Daniel, Junior, I hope you're listening. Because these are conversations to have now. These are now conversations. Who's going to be in the hospital? From what time to what time? What's your availability? And oh my goodness, if you live in another state, what are we going to do? How are you going to help the rest of the siblings? Like, seriously, how are you contributing to this? Are you going to pay for some of the care? Are you coming? Like, when are you coming? Right? Are you coming on the weekends? Are you coming once a month? Are you coming every other week? Like, when are you coming? And if you live in another country, like, when are you coming? Right? You need to have those things spelled out. Because my dad just had brain surgery. And I am so grateful to God that I married this man that's in the medical field, because that was the population he worked with doing physical therapy. Okay? I'm grateful for that. Not everybody's blessed that way. A lot of the information that, they should have told us, Corey already knows. Our son, DC, like, he is a nurse. And then, I'm trying to think, he just got another degree. It's right below the doctor. I don't even know. Sorry, DC. But, like, they have a lot of experience good experience and expertise that can guide us. But not every family has that. And what are you going to do? Like DC was the one that said, hey, I'm looking at the results. They were telling us, I don't even know what they were telling us. He goes, that's a tumor. That's a mass that my dad has that the doctors did not say. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, that's a tumor. And we're waiting for pathology to give us results, right? But it's the size of a golf ball that they removed on Monday. And listen, you all, the conversations about what if mom, dad, this happens, who's going to step up and do what? Like on, when was it? He was having surgery on Monday. He was admitted on Friday night. And I mean, we started the day on Friday morning with all kinds of tests. His appointment was at 7:50 a.m. and it was one test after another. And then the last one at 5:45 was the CT scan. And then after that, they said, you guys need to take him to the ER. Like, things can happen that quickly, right? I had an accident on 10/2/17 that changed the entire dynamics of our family. And my husband and our children had to make decisions then and there quickly. What if we have those decisions before? What if we say, look, if this happens, if A happens, we're going to do B, C, D, and E, and maybe even F, G, H, and I. And write it all down. Because, you know, it's not a matter if it happens, it's when it happens. And I am praying for my family. I am the grateful lady. I stay on those high vibes, so positivity, right? I like to live there. That's my home address. If you know anything about me, I stay positive, but we got to keep it what? Real. We got to keep it real, right? And if you don't plan, you know that saying, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Like, let's plan. I'm telling you, because that's a mistake that I made. I can't speak for my family. I cannot speak for my siblings. I'm telling you what I did. I know that on Sunday night, we were filling out forms. Hey, if he cannot make a decision, hey, who do you want to make these decisions? Right? I didn't even know that there was such a thing. The notary public over the phone, when we call it driving notary public, she said everybody has to be present to be able to be a representative. My little sister, Janet, who knows a lot more than I know, she said, no, not necessarily, but it was already a done deal. We were already having her come. So me and my sister became representatives, where we wanted all four of us to be in writing, and we agreed that, hey, we're going to talk to each other before making this decision, any decision, and then later on we can edit that document. But you know what I mean? It was like on Sunday night, we spent at least 2 hours with the notary, and then doing all this paperwork, who, what, this, that, as my dad really should be processing what he feels about the surgery, the procedure, and being with his children instead of doing paperwork, right? But we didn't plan it. We didn't plan it the right way. And because we didn't plan it the right way, we had to do it at the last minute. We were pedaling, right? And I'm saying, look, can we not? I mean, I'm grateful that Corey and I have made that paperwork. We've done that paperwork, and all that is taken care of. But we didn't do it for our parents. And when I try to have the conversations with my dad, my mom is fine. She'll do whatever. But with my dad, he was like, nope, I'm good. But then at the last minute, he was not good. And we had to make these decisions, right? So listen, again, this life is about that. It's about, hey, can we not wait till the last minute? Can we make these decisions for our parents before? Because life lives, and as life is lifing, the last thing you want to do is put more stress on a Hispanic family with an Italian dad that, is having surgery in his brain, that, his cognitive decisions are being affected. Like, let's not do that. And that's what we did as a family. I hope that this life helps you in making those decisions for you, for your parents, for your spouse, for your significant other. Like, have those conversations and put that stuff in writing, even if it's uncomfortable. Who wants to do a will? Who wants to get life insurance? Like, none of us want to do that. None of us want to do that. Like, seriously, I don't want to do that. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Bob Young. He was the man that trained me in my early 20s. He trained me in my early 20s. And as a public insurance adjuster. And he told me, listen, you're an addict. I'm sorry, Marco, but if I was an addict, and I can say my ex-husband was an addict, the two of you are losers. You guys need life insurance. Like, anything can happen to you, and you're pregnant, you're having a baby. Get life insurance. And he was a New Yorker. There was no missing words there. And in my early 20s, I got life insurance. I got $1 million life insurance that I paid. I'm going to be 60 this year. This is the year that I actually canceled that insurance through State Farm. Okay? I had it for 20, 30 years, and then I renewed it. And I still have my agent from California. Although this year officially I've been in Florida. My home state is in Florida. I go back and forth between here and California. But, I had that insurance, and I have other life insurance. Of course I do. But, it's planning. Nobody wants to have those conversations. Nobody wants to do that paperwork. But it is needed paperwork. My dad died. I'm very passionate. I told Anaya's daddy, my 7th granddaughter, I say, hey, Frankie, I'm very passionate about life insurance. I really am. Because my dad died when I was 3. And I know everything I went through. Because my mom was 26 years old, a widow with all these girls, and no money. Okay? No money. My dad had assets that did not go to my mom. Okay? So, or to the moms of any of my siblings, because there's 9 of us, right? So, that's a problem. We want to make sure that we write those things down and that we take care of people and things and do the right thing beforehand. The schedules, who's going to do what? Who's going to pay for what? Hey, like right now, we're looking to make a decision. I want my dad to come home. But is that the best decision for him? I don't know. We're still waiting for results. But if A happens, what does the B look like? If B happens, what does the C look like? That's what I'm saying. Let's plan out these things because they're going to happen. It's like I say, let's prep the freaking meals. I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to get very hungry. And I don't just get hungry. I get hangry, right? So I am, by God's grace, going to get older. Your parents, hopefully you're praying that they get older, right? And let's plan today for when that time comes. Hopefully they go in their sleep. That's my desire, that my parents go in their sleep, that they don't get sick. I believe I live in a healthy body. This is the temple of God's Holy Spirit. I am complete health, right? I believe all those things and I speak those things over my life constantly, right? But I want to make sure that you and I understand that if that happens, we still need to make decisions. And decisions should not be made, right? They should not be made the night before surgery. They should be made, hopefully, years, months before, so that we can all be in agreement, right? I mean, I have my 2 oldest children. They live in California. What's going to happen? God forbid if something happens to me, right? Here in Florida. I mean, like, what's going to happen, right? I have a son that lives in Mexico. What's going to happen, right? I post all the time about my 1 grandchild because it's the only grandchild that lives here. Because the other 6 live in California. Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to change their lives? Like, let's have those conversations. Because lives. If you're there, if you're going through that with your siblings, what are we going to do? Who's going to do what? My prayers for you. My prayers for you that the Lord would actually give you unity, clarity. I'm grateful to God. I was not born, I tell my sisters, I was not born in the Smith family or the Brown family. I was born in the Romero family. The Romero, Jimenez, Mercedes, right? I was born in this family. Cabrera, right? I was part of this family. And because I was part of this family, I'm grateful. And I know all the different dynamics of our family. And we get to work through them, right? And that's the thing, right? That's very, very important that we work through those things, right? As we need to make decisions. So let's have a lot of conversations before them. I love you. I am going up to see my dad. Continue to pray for him. Continue to pray for our family. I love you guys. And I hope that this video, this life, helps you make decisions today. For those that you and I say are the ones that we love the most. I can't even begin to imagine life with either one of them. One of, my spouse, my kids, my parents, none of it. But eventually, that's the one thing we're not getting out of. You know that saying, we're not getting out of here alive. And hopefully it's just from life to death, right? Hopefully it's from here to there. But some of us in between, we have procedures done and sickness and this and that. And that's what this video is for, is to make sure that you plan out those things. Because when they're happening, it would be really good that we have had a plan. Love you guys. God bless.